Hello, mathematicians. Right now in this video, I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm going to go through a complex equation, and I'm going to solve for the variable. Now, the reason I'm going through a complex equation is to show you the importance of showing work, to showing all of your steps, because it's a battle every year to get students to show work on those really simple problems. But it's really important to practice on those simple problems so that when we get to a complex problem, we're ready to go. All right, so when I first look at this, obviously my variable is v. That's the only letter there is. That's what I want to be solving for. So I just kind of have to survey what's going on, and I need to take care of those parentheses first. So I'm going to distribute this 7 throughout. So 7 times negative 47 would be negative 49. 7 times negative v would be negative 7v equals 1 minus 4v over 7. And I use the distributive property. Next, as I survey this, I need to get all of my constants on one side. So constants are numbers that aren't being multiplied to a variable. They're just a number, just like any other number. So I'm going to add 49. And when I add to both sides, I mean both sides of that equal sign. So I can't just write this. I need to actually calculate what I have written. So negative 49 plus 49 would be 0. I bring this down. Negative 7v equals 1 plus 49 would be 50. And I still have minus 4v over 7 here. And what I use to add that to both sides is the addition property of equality. All right, so I survey this again, and I need to get all of my variables to one side. So I already have a 7v over here, and it's by itself. 4v over 7 is on the same side as 50. So it would be smart or more direct of me to move the 4v over 7 because 7v is already by itself. I'm going to add 4v over 7, add 4v over 7. I'm not going to combine those together yet, although I could. I'm not going to just yet. Negative 4v plus 7, or negative 4v over 7 plus 4v over 7 would be 0. And again, you can see I added 4v over 7. So again, I use the addition property of equality. So I survey this again, and I need to combine my like terms. And we've gone over combining like terms. Like terms are the same variable. So I need to combine 4v over 7 and 7v. So I'm going to have to convert 7v to a fraction with the denominator 7. When we add fractions, we have to have the same denominator. So I'm going to just do my little chicken scratch over here. So if I have 7 over 1 equals a denominator of 7, I have to make equivalent fractions. So to get from 1 to 7, I multiply by 7. So I'm going to have to multiply this number by 7. And 7 times 7 is 49. So now I'm adding 4v over 7 minus 49v over 7. And it still equals 50. And 4v minus 49v would be negative 45v over 7 equals 50. We aren't done yet because v is not by itself. It still has that negative 45 over 7 on it. So when I have a fraction being multiplied to my variable, I'm going to flip it and multiply. Notice I'm not multiplying by the variable because I want the variable to stay over there. So when I multiply negative 45 over 7 times negative 7 over 45, that cancels out, leaving me with v equals, and I can do some canceling out here. 5 goes into 45 9 times, and 5 goes into 50 10 times. So 10 times negative 7 would be negative 70 over 9. And I use the division property of equality. Because flipping a fraction and multiplying is really dividing by a fraction. And that would be my final answer. So looking at this problem, did you have any idea that a number like that would be the solution? Probably not. So the reason it's really important to show work is so you can keep track of where you're at and what you're doing. When problems get more complex, you can't just jump down to a solution. You have to solve it strategically and get to that point, and you have to make good decisions based on where your numbers are at. So I wanted you to just watch this so that way when I tell you you're going to show work, you understand why, because we are eventually going to solve problems like this. And I believe that every one of you can do it as long as you put forth the right amount of effort and the right amount of practice. Math's a skill. It has to be practiced. But for the next lessons, we're going to do problems that are much more simple, I promise. This is a really complex problem. I would like for you to rewatch it at some point just to remind yourself of, oh yes, showing work is important, because eventually it's going to be too hard for me to get to the answer without showing work. So stay tuned for the next few videos, and happy mathing.